Firstly, there was a relationship, and in the relationship with Abraham and Sarah, I'm going to be very brief and quickly about this because I need you to understand. I don't want to be here for a long time explaining and emphasizing and expressing the obvious. I hope that your Bible, hope that you got a good understanding. I hope that you were taught. This is for diligent seekers. I don't want anything to go over your head. I want things to be clear and evident so that we can get a move on along with the sequence pattern that develops the writings and understanding that is for comprehensive literacy within the videos that are being posted for further proliferates. So Abraham had a wife named Sarah. Sarah told Abraham that he could deal with Hagar in a relationship. Abraham had a baby with Hagar. Hagar had a child named Ishmael. Case in point, right? Republicans have rights, but they don't have all access with the rights that they have. What is a Republican? In the case of Abraham, the Republican can be a form of sorcery, witchcraft, are people in David's day who are rebellious. Just after Abraham, the witchcraft becomes sorcery in Moses' day. After Moses' day, you have David's day, where that sorcery that was rooted from the witchcraft, it becomes, I just said it. All right, well, you figure it out. Because in Saul's day, it's hypocrisy. All right. So whatever I just said, you could rewind it, go back, bam, bam, bring it back to my remembrance. Write it in the comments. I forgot what I just said, but that's what it is. And it's a republic. It's a republic in David's day. It's a republic. David identifies it as rebellion, that republic as rebellion, and with that rebellion within the republic, David has to chastise them because he loves them. He has to correct them. So here we have an institution, with Solomon is building a temple. Later, we find this temple to be the place where Paul and Silas went to jail. What was in jail while they were in jail? Could it have been anxieties? Could have been anxieties. What type of anxieties? They had a lack to no patience. There was no patience because Herod wanted to kill the firstborn children. Since he wanted to kill the firstborn sons, patience was stripped, taken away. And what was he trying to evacuate the hour of prayer, the 12 o'clock hour of prayer with Paul and Silas, was patience, which was, if Paul was young, Peter was young, patience had to be amongst them and Sarah. So Sarah had a patience, but she understood subjectively through her body what patience meant and how it felt to be on the opposite side of the affliction at hand when it came to Hagar, when it was a lack of patience. So psychiatry had become the psychological healing in Sarah's mind when she's seeing Hagar. The psyche of Sarah wanted the Hagar to be healed. But because Abraham loved Lot, none of Lot was with Sarah. None of Lot was with Sarah, but Hagar was confused somewhere, not knowing how to speak or voice her opinion. So she was given to laryngitis. That was the ward she was in. So love scorn and love hurt, it was tearing Hagar apart. Sarah knew it. Sarah told Abraham to heal her, give her someone to love, give her someone to care for, give her someone to touch, give her someone to raise. Now, whereas these institutions have become a Hagar, there are connections and promises that are given to these institutions that is connected to Ezra. Because the institutions, you could be there for a very mighty long time. Since Ezra is connected to the institutions, you also have to understand that the scribe is connected to Nebuchadnezzar, the king, who has power to release you from Daniel's, Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego's containment. So if they are given to a release, what is evacuating or being exorcism from that contained space when they were in the den? So the high place, the principality that is in the institution, which is in this particular instance a Hagar's institution, there could be a love triangle in warfare in which we don't have a cross, we have a triangle. In order to make things right, you have to get in the center of the matter, and you have to choose which way you want to go. So there is a shield of protection here, because we have ultimately a matter that could possibly be an enslaved custody, whereas you're in jail for something you didn't do. You're in jail for maybe something you did. You may be in this jail or prison for something that there is a case that was brought before the populace, and the case was handled because goals and accomplishments were met, imprisoned by these contained traits, which develop the character of this one who now knows how to gain and earn. Today, Wallow 267. Not everybody wants to be that. Maybe some people do. Maybe you don't want ridicule. Maybe you believe you deserve it because of some conviction, condemnation, or maybe the life you live or choose to accept is probably either institutionalized, republic with the rebellion, or oppression and tyranny, and doesn't know how to take the rod out of its spirit. So it sells its soul because it's already given the dominion of its soul away when it went to the institution. It already has to deliver up the dominion of its soul. So the lofty mind of this spirit, it becomes on the incorruptible side of the mind, it becomes a bond it cannot separate from, because the spirit is not only susceptible to contamination, wickedness, abhorrence, and evil, but the spirit, because it's connected to tyranny and oppression, is given to a government of fear, which you have to understand how to reach the pinnacle or the narrow tipping point of some pyramid to escape the woes and fears that are given to the life of this Hagar. And if you don't know how to do it, you're either going to sink, swim, crawl, climb, and by the time you start walking, you either walk right or you don't walk right in light at all. This is the case of the institution of Hagar. Now, I'm not a big fan of a ward that doesn't have a voice. I'm much more of one to uplift and endorse, even sponsor someone who speaks and voices their own counsel over their own selves. And with this case in point, I'm going to post on my Facebook and on my LinkedIn a case scenario that is directly linked to this video. And if you read it's about 3-4 paragraphs. It's from a case that is in Hungary, and the case is of sort of, if you understand this, the case corresponds with it as a subsidiary, and this is the primary component to the case that I researched. And you should be able to understand how that case is relative or relates to this hypothesis. So in theory, you should be able to come up with a synopsis and similar templates of what was just said. So it's nice talking to you, diligent seekers. Welcome back anytime. Good things last forever. Don't despise the day of small beginnings. Some things are worth interpretation. Some things are made for the edifying and the body of the saints, and some things are made by prayer and understanding. So yeah, you comprehend this, feel free to engage and withdraw the unfree so that we may be liberated into enlightenment. Thank you very much.